Hi there, it's Nick again. Sorry, just to go low resolution on you again, but I just feel like just talking and saying what I think. When is it that we're going to reach the point of just saying like, it's time to get on, it's time to get by, and it's time to get on? Instead, all we do is we focus on differences, or we focus on sensitivities that we have or that other groups have, and we try our hardest to get involved, and sometimes getting involved with things that maybe we shouldn't or it's not right to, and we do it for more viewings on YouTube, or we do it because we think there's a cause there when there isn't, and we all try and look to become part of something that we feel is right. Some people take to religion because they feel it's right, and some people take to atheism because they think it's right. But those in the atheist community have demonstrated that they're just as bad as everybody else. Because people are people. They tribalize. They get involved in a group. They get a label. They apply it to themselves. And then they try and attack people who don't have that label, or who appear to think certain things, or appear to believe certain things. Or maybe you could try and misrepresent something that they've said or done to make it look like they believe something or that they think something, just so that you can score a few points. This is a big problem now. I mean, a real big problem. And I don't know where the solution's going to be. Maybe it's more a question of just getting more heavily involved in charity work, doing more stuff for your community, just working harder for yourself and for your family, and possibly even just not getting involved with the kind of like point-scoring politics that we have here, and turning around to people and saying, I'm right, you're wrong, I'm right, you're wrong. I don't know how we're going to solve this problem. Because the more that we do this, the more that we tribalize, and the more that we try and find chinks in the opposition's armor, we end up exposing ourselves as being weak people. And we are. We're all weak people. We all need a better quality of perspective. And we all need to find something which is going to help us to generate that. But we prefer something which is simple, which in one case could be paranoia, or in another case could be hatred, or disrespect, or to think that we're campaigning for a cause, just letting that one idea dominate the mind. Because we hate ambiguity. We hate the idea of we don't know, or we may be wrong, or our actions may be wrong. I like being ambiguous. I like being able to say, I don't know. I like being able to say that maybe there's a better way of doing things, but I don't know what it is. I like being able to think that there's different types of people in the world, because everyone's got a different brain, and some people need religion and spirituality and some people don't, and some people need love and some people don't, and just so long as no one's hurting anybody else, then surely that's good. I think that would be a great thing, if we could just spend more time maybe focusing on our own needs and on our own community and looking after people, and helping people across cultures. Maybe that'll be the thing which does it. But the way that things have become, some of the atheist attacks against the theists have been, they use logical fallacies and they believe in abstracts that we don't believe in. Well, the atheist community believe in the abstract of the atheist community, and it isn't abstract. And they worship the idols of Thunderfoot and Dawkins and lap up every word they say and say, if you don't believe what Thunderfoot and Dawkins says, you're a loser or whatever. And is this just a human thing? Is this just what our pathetic little monkey race is all about? Is there a better way to do this? Is there a way in which we can use our intellect not to attack other people so we can get thousands of views on YouTube, but to just to be the best that we can be, to improve our lot somehow, improve other people's lot? Is there a way of doing this? I don't know, and I do welcome your feedback if you got any. Why is it that the atheists have proven themselves to be just as bad as the fundamentalist theists? Why? Because they're just human. Just human. And they got faults and they got flaws and they like to simplify things. Don't tell me that they don't like to simplify things. I mean, that's one of the criticisms of religious people, you know, they just like to simplify things, and we don't. So we're just going to believe in Dawkins, or just going to believe in Thunderfoot, and dear, and just going to hate the other because you're a monkey. That's why. You believe in evolution, but you deny the most basic thing about evolution, namely, you are still a monkey. And either you can aspire to something better than the monkey drive of tribalism, or you can accept the monkey drive of tribalism, and just like people in what you might call Bronze Age sand religions, you're bringing society down to the same level, that of hatred, that of generating fear, doing death threats. I mean, for crying out loud, when is this species just going to grow up and start becoming something which can aspire to be something better than it is already? What is just wrong with you? If education and science brings about the behavior of a tribal monkey, what is it about education and science that is better than Islam, or Judaism, or Christianity, or Pentecostalism? Why? Because it makes you feel free. Just like people in Islam, Judaism, and Christianity feel that they are freer when they're part of Islam, Judaism, Christianity, or Pentecostalism, or whatever. It's no different. Because you're no different. If science and education and reason and logic are important, apply it to yourself. And think about how much better you could be, and what kind of like levels of understanding could go between cultures if we could just learn a bit of acceptance, as well as to aspire for something greater than ourselves. You can't just carry on going about misrepresenting other people and yourself as well as science. You know, you just can't carry on doing this, because it's hurting you, and it's hurting me, and it's hurting them, and it's hurting us, and it's hurting everybody. Quit this stuff already. Come on. It's not doing anybody any favors. And we've got to truly evolve now. Become a bit of an imperative. Because if there's violent wars with death threats going about on YouTube, what do you think will be happening in the street? What do you think will be happening in the bars and the sport and social clubs and the nightclubs? And in the end, you have maybe even those who believe in Newtonian physics attacking those who believe in quantum mechanics, and oh God, it can get worse and worse and worse. If religion was completely eradicated, then different schools of scientific thought would have battles in the street, just as different religious groups have territorial battles these days. I'm sure of it. Unless, of course, we can tackle the main fundamental thing, which is our nature, and use education to move beyond it, and a special variety of education which imposes reasoning, self-doubt, self-criticism, and maybe even encouraging the emotion of guilt to allow us to see that some emotions are just plain wrong. Some thoughts, feelings, actions, and words are just plain wrong. I don't know. This is just a ramble for today, but I think you get my message. Good night, monkey.